What makes Aries courageous? The inspiration of Mars is one of impulse, rashness, self-assertiveness, and fearlessness. For this is the planet which is the symbol of war, and war is one of the ways man is called upon to weigh himself in terms of personal courage.
What makes Aries? Energy. For Mars is energy, and Mars rules Aries.
If this tempo makes you nervous, if high altitudes give you nosebleeds, and a day in a revolving door makes you dizzy, if you find it difficult to be ambidextrous on occasions, don't work for an Aries. He flies high, asks much, and moves fast. So fast he can pass you every day for a year, and you still won't know what he looks like. You will have to be in 4 places at the same time. Why not? He can do it. But Aries will give you a chance when others may not. He bets on people, and often will bet quite a lot. To follow the ram is to follow a true leader. He'll get you there, somehow. If there is no way, he'll think a way. And he'll never forget who hung in there when the situation was in doubt.
You have a position which needs filling. Well, if you want a 9-to-5, second-splitting, on-the-dot pension seeker who can see no farther than the time clock in his own desk, if the only way is your way, if his is not to reason why, but to do and die, don't hire an Aries. He has a way of his own. And he can make it work. You have to hang loose or you might lose someone you'll be able to use. Anything that requires imagination and/or personality, turn over to Aries. He can sell parachutes to submarine captains or a business course to Howard Hughes. But don't crowd him. He does best when left alone. And here's a switch. He makes other people rich. He's in Aries. Then you are quick to think and quick to act. You'll be long on drive and short on tact. You're an individualist, first, last, and always, self-reliant, original, with great force. And to become a leader is often a natural course of events. But you have to cultivate the sense of other people's feelings. And remember that too much self is the death of the soul.
An Aries characteristic is to use up challenges too quickly, a tendency to leave things half done. If you're the kind, however, whose inner balance is supreme, whose work is always done while things move in a quiet, steady stream, always forward, always sure, then your moon is in Taurus, and you will get where you're going, collecting lots of goodies on the way.
The ram child with his moon in Gemini is versatile, quick-witted, and has a fast tongue. He makes a good speaker or writer. Anything with a word is seen or heard. But without control, no secret is sacred. Rumors fly, and it's hard to separate the truth from the lie. Silence is the virtue. More time and thought, and less in talk, wouldn't hurt you at all.
Aries is an idealist, and when the moon is in Cancer, the ambition to make ideas live and to achieve notice can be realized. And this Aries has 2 loves, where his warmth is and his dreams start, his home and the outside world, where dreams are made realities, and he can handle them both.
When an Aries discovers that love is a big part of his big adventure, that he is an insatiable people-needer and a spotlight seeker, and that he must advance and be recognized, then his moon is in Leo, and ambitions will be realized. But if your way is too easy, too much luck with your star, you may never fulfill yourself and become all that you truly are.
Most rams prefer the arena to the desk and the deed to thought. But when it's reversed and fact replaces daring, the moon is in Virgo, and the ram's head must be fed a constant diet of education and information.
The Aries native is not a daydreamer. Action is what he wants. But if you are a daydreamer who lives in a world of delicious possibilities where action is always postponed, then your Aries moon could be in Libra. And if the daydreams can be conquered, then you can become what is known as a Cinderella child, making fancy into fact.
The true warrior never stays down. And when Aries has his moon in Scorpio, this was never truer. For there is a volcano of belief in self that erupts when it is needed. So defeat is never conceded, and victory is never far away. But Scorpio can thicken the hot Aries blood, and violence can come out of frustration. So this combination has to know when to cool it.
Most Aries like words, and when words lead to ideas which lead to larger truths, and you seek other minds to convince, to make others know as you know, then you have the sum of the sun in Aries and the moon in Sagittarius. You then prefer influence to affluence, and you would rather inquire than acquire. But though you learn much, one thing you find it hard to understand. A person is more than what he thinks. There are other things, like what he feels.
The Aries success train is rolling. All the stops are out. The full energy steam is turned on and no time is wasted. Get there is the motto, and you probably will. For the moon is in Capricorn. You're in control, and nothing will slow you down. All you should remember is, fame is the name of the game, but the game isn't always worth the candle.
The Ram native with his moon in Aquarius will climb to the good life through his magnetism and sociability. Oh, you'll go to the right places, wear the right clothes, live in the right house, see the right shows. The danger is, you can be so right, you'll be left on an island called the past, in a world that changes its rights and wrongs with a passion as it does its fashion. To climb is to go up, not necessarily forward.
Don't you know the least thing you can give yourself is self-pity? If you don't, the Aries moon is in Pisces. And though you come on strong, what is hidden inside is in pieces. You make mistakes because you're afraid of making them. Lose chances because you're afraid of taking them. In solitude, you achieve your best. For your thoughts are deep, and you need time before you're brave enough to put them to the test. But when you do, you accomplish much. 9 is the number of life's beginning, and Aries is the beginning of the astrological wheel, the infant of the Zodiac. 9 is the number of fulfillment and attainment, and you are ever in search of these. 9 signifies endeavor and goal, and if Aries has nothing to try for, he is lost. 9 is the numerical sign of activity, and you must be near the action in order to be. 9 is the number of the life cycle, the end and the beginning. It says what Aries says, I am. 9 is the digit of expression happening, and you are one long burst of expression. No, Aries, you may not have 9 lives, but you have the courage to live as if you do.
As diamonds are bright and singular because they shine and capture and reflect light, they are Aries' gem. A diamond is a dazzling experience, ever making its presence known, as a true Aries must do. You can hide a diamond, but you won't keep it from shining. You can sentence an Aries to obscurity, but you can't dull the brightness. And eventually someone will discover Aries. But diamonds are hard and can cut, and the ram has this to remind him that this can happen in the fight to become, with people as with stones.
Color Aries red. As red as fire is red, and flashing neon signs that say, it's happening here. As red as the dice are red when they're shaking and the game is on. For the ram loves the game. You, Aries, reflected in the hot red eye of Mars, must remember that the fire that sustains life and helps make it go can destroy it. And the body that holds Aries can be cremated in its own heat. So Aries, live as if you have 9 lives. Be as dazzling as the diamond, and carry the torch as far as it can go. You can do it, if you know when to stop. Some fires burn nothing but out.
Circles of fire, as if Van Gogh might have painted it in one of his wilder moments. Here goes the headlong leap, not looking left or right, or very deep, just racing in a high fever towards your new hope, your new destiny, this time it's the brass ring promise of forever, and nothing can stop you now.
In love with an Aries man, my girl? Well, here it comes. The whole routine, the shock treatment, the total spotlight, the war of the roses, the heavy breathing and the slippery sighs. Every day is your birthday. You've been taken over by a passionate sentimentalist who has turned you inside out and has you moving with the speed of light. But you better keep up with the action. Or what happened? He was here a minute ago. Or was he? And what do you mean always doesn't mean forever?
In love with an Aries girl, my boy? It could be more your problem than hers. She can hit you right where you live, in your masculinity. And not with a myth called virginity. This violet doesn't shrink or go pink very often from embarrassment. She can make the first move. And she figures she has the electricity to turn you on. But don't count her too fast, or you might turn her off. If you're looking for the cooking type who marries her home and the protection of your masculine power, take a shower and forget it. A lady likes it out there where it's happening. And if you can handle it, it could be one long 4th of July. Or like being high on everything. And if you can't, where did she go? She was here a minute ago. And what do you mean forever doesn't mean always?
Out of love again, Aries? Not for long. Try it to keep some time. A Sagittarius or a Leo is a good bet for your sign. Remember, everyone needs an anchor for their dreams, especially you.
begins with an aggressive need to be. He is impatient, volatile, and anxious to get started. He plunges into life with small regard for consequences. He puts the world on its toes immediately, for his mind and his hands are busy trying to touch everything at once. The young ram has to be protected from himself, or he'll break himself in two trying to run through walls. He moves like a wild thing, and like most wild things, needs a special kind of handling that channels the energy without breaking the spirit. The young Aries runs a high fever that erupts and breaks just as suddenly. It is sometimes called temper. It is often forgotten in the next breath. Praise is never wasted on the young ram. He thrives on praise and is motivated by challenge. He is always in a hurry to get out in the field of battle, for he knows that is where he belongs.
In his second season, Aries goes looking for the perfect adversary. He can use up school very quickly, for he learns so fast the sense of things, and details tend to bore him. So he races off to the war. Any war, Aries doesn't care, and he'll take on too many opponents at the same time, scatter his shots, waste many of them, and burn up more juice than he has to, picking up scars and learning the hard way. But he does learn, and well. He'll make many friends, know many loves, and be the better for it.
In the third season, the ram who has truly learned his lessons is ready to commit himself body and soul to something and to someone. He finds out that the world may be best seen through one window after all, and that there is satisfaction in going all the way with something. And so he brings all his fire, initiative, enterprise, and energy to one single challenge. And you can bet on him not to lose. Rams are not losers.
In his last season, the Aries native has felt the edge soften, and the need to take on all comers is tempered with the satisfaction of having beaten the best adversaries that life can offer. He is much like the retired champion who can enjoy his reputation without taking any more punches. For Aries, man and woman alike, becoming is one long battle, which they win in ways that less courageous people can only dream about.
I believe that cosmic religious sense is one of the strongest and noblest motives behind scientific research. Albert Einstein. I hold it for certain that the celestial bodies have in them certain other influences besides heat and light. I have practiced astrology, and you have not. If I do not condemn it, how can you presume to do so? Sir Francis Bacon. It is the stars above us, governs our conditions. William Shakespeare. Ye stars, which are the poetry of heaven, in your bright leaves we would read the fate of men and empires. Lord Byron. Astrology is astronomy brought down to earth and applied to the affairs of man. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We of the fixed stars have rejected the message of the wanderers of the sky. Do they not tell us of things to come as well as of things long past, buried in the racial memory of man? Henry Miller. It is the very error of the moon. She comes more near to earth than she was wont, and makes men mad. From Othello by William Shakespeare. We are born at a given moment, in a given place. And like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and the season in which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. Carl Jung.